there's an order just came from Selfridges, and it's the Natasha Denona GLAM palette. And actually, I was so excited when they came out this palette because I really like those cool tones, like the taupey kind of color and cool toned champagne and cool toned matte brown, because I feel there's so much of red or orange, those warm undertoned eyeshadow palette out of the market. So when I see this, I just feel like so refreshing. So I almost got this immediately, and I want to try it out today. And first I want to go with, since there's color called crease, maybe we should just use this crease color on our crease. Even though I don't really have a visible crease, as you can see, you know, Asian eye shape. So if I would press the brush in there, I can feel there's a crease under there, but you just can't see it. I have so much fat on my eyes. It's very, very hooded. And for me, this color may be a little bit too gray for me because I have very warm undertone, like my skin. Maybe on the camera it can't get my skin color correct, but I actually have very warm olive undertone. So like color gray like this, usually I have to have a warm blending color to blend out the edge into my skin tone. Maybe we have to do that today as well. And sometimes if I don't do the blending part, it will look like literal mud on my eyes. Like it's kind of doing that right now. So maybe I'll find a color to blend in this palette. There's a color called Blend. I feel like this palette is trying to talk to me by the shade names. This color is a little bit better because it's a little warmer for my skin tone. Maybe today I didn't put enough of eyeshadow primer, which is the MAC Pink Pot. I didn't put enough of that on my eye, so it's going a little bit patchy, but most part is doing okay. Just have to blend with the blend shade. Actually, I still feel that I have to use a warmer color to blend, which is this Victoria Beckham and Estee Lauder bronzer. Yeah, it feels much better, which I don't think it's because of the quality of the eyeshadow. It's just because even though I like these kind of tones, my skin tone just doesn't match well with the cool tone eyeshadows. I feel this is as well as I can do. I think if I put down the blend shade first and then go with the crease shade, it will works better, because usually for my eyes, if I put down the warm shade first and then putting on the more cool toned shade after the warm shadow, it works better for me. To the next shadow, this palette is trying to talk to you through the shade name. This is Center Eyelid. this outer eyelid, this inner corner, crease, transition, smoke, blend, lash line, inner corner, center eyelid, center eyelid, outer eyelid, center eyelid, outer eyelid, and brow bone. Natasha Denona is trying to do a tutorial through this palette, which I think is quite nice. If you are a beginner, you can just do a look by, by reading. So since they tell me to smoke with this shade, we may just smoke the look a little bit using this shade. Using this shade along the lash line. Yeah, it is quite a smoky shade. Yeah, for a cool tone, like a shadow that's cool tone like this, it blends quite well on me. Actually, I like this smoke shade better than the previous two shadows. Actually, I wish that they would do a shade colored all over the lid. If someday you just want one shade all over the lid, and you can use that shade. I mean, I know there's no rules, but I thought that would be funny. There's a shade called Lash Line. So I want to listen to Natasha and use this color, the lash line color on my lash line, to basically use it as a liner, sort of a liner. Yeah, it works quite well as an eyeliner. Yeah, quite a nice shade. Even though I'm just using this shade as a liner, but I feel this is quite easy to blend. Okay. And how do you place those shades? Do you just because they have center eyelid, outer eyelid, and inner corner, do I use center eyelid shade first and outer eyelid shade after, and at last I use the inner corner shade? There's two sets of the center eyelid, outer eyelid, and inner corner color. I think, oh no, there's 3 center eyelid color and 2 outer eyelid color and 1 inner corner color, because I want to do a cool toned make look today, so I want to go with this row, these 3, which is cooler than these 2, So I'm gonna put this center eyelid color on my center eyelid. Oh, feel like a cream eyeshadow. Really beautiful. But I do feel like, because a little bit goes for a long way, I might apply too much on this eye. It's covering all of the work I have done. But it's a good color, just it's covering all of the other color. And now I'm gonna use this outer eyelid on the top row, on my top eyelid. Ooh, this is a very beautiful silvery, grayish kind of metallic color. I feel it looks quite well. because payoff of this shimmer shadow is too good, I'm gonna use a little bit more the smoke shadow to bring some of the color back on the outer corner. Yeah, because if my upper lid is too much lighter than my lower lash line, somehow my eyes look like a dog eye. We'll use this inner corner, the only inner corner shadow in the palette. I feel this inner corner shade has a lot of glitters in it, which can be a very good top coat kind of color. So maybe we'll put a little bit on the center of our eyelid. Yeah, it's very, very beautiful there. Sorry, not following the rules of the palette, but it's very pretty. The only brow bone color in the palette, of course I'm using this under my brow bone. Oh, it's a beautiful color for your brow bone. I just don't know how it would work with deeper skin tone, like people deeper than medium tan or deep kind of skin tone. I don't know how this would, but actually I feel it's giving me a little bit darker cast under the brow bone, so maybe it's a little bit too dark for my skin, so maybe this now the only inner corner color. There's two inner corner color. It's this one and this one, and actually they have 4 center eyelid shade. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. But they do only have 1 brow bone shade. And I'm going to mix the transition shade with a little bit of the brow bone shade to light the shade up a bit. So I finished my look. I think it worked as what I expect this to be. I think all of the mattes, I can feel if I put a warmer base color like a crease color on and then go with this color, will make them work better. And actually I feel they are quite buttery and easy to blend for a very cool toned matte shadow, because I think they are very difficult to make. And all of the metallics or shimmer, I think the pigmentation and the texture is very good, and they don't have any fallout. They're just like very glowy, very beaming. So I definitely love them. And I actually love that they are, naming all of the shades that, where you should use it on. It will make it easier for a lot of beginners. And I also appreciate that they are not only providing all of this very silvery, cool-toned shadow, they also give you some kind of neutral leaning cool-toned shadow here, so that you are not only getting one look from this whole palette. You can still do some neutral, some golden looks, but the gold is not like very yellow, very warm gold. It's kind of a little bit more cool-toned gold. And you can go a little bit more pinkier. You can go a little bit more champagne-y kind of color. You can also go a little bit taupey kind of color, or gray, or like this silver shade. and you do have crease shade, a shade to blend, a shade to smoke, and a shade to use on a lash line. Basically, you do have every shade you need in this palette, so I think this palette is really good, and you know, the packaging is very beautiful, very sleek. It doesn't take too much space like the very big Natasha palettes do. And even though it's expensive, but for Natasha Denona palettes, I think it's a okay price. So that's my thought. And yes, this is the video. Bye.